Drill number 2, the reverse wall drill. And this is another great drill because it kind of teaches us how to get away from the backside. Obviously, we want to create momentum going down the mound, and we don't want to stay too far over our backside. Again, you'll see a lot of guys when they're starting to drive down the mound, they kind of stay over their backside far too long. And we hear coaches all the time say, you know, stay over your back legs so you can drive out. And it kind of makes sense, right? You would think that you want to kind of stay back here so you could drive out. But in reality, we want to start getting our hips down the mound pretty quickly. Okay, so the reverse wall drill helps us do this, or helps us at least understand if we are doing this, and it can show us if we need to correct something. All you're going to do in the reverse wall drill is you're going to go the opposite way. You're going to be going away from the wall. And when you separate your hands, you want to separate your hands at 45 degrees closed off or more, because if you go straight back or separate straight to your target, like you hear a lot of coaches say, your back hand is going to hit that wall, and we don't want that. We want to separate at 45 degrees closed off or more, and this is also going to help us get into better hip to shoulder separation, which we'll talk about later in these videos. Hip to shoulder separation is important because it's shown to be where 80% of your pitching velocity comes from. So if you have good hip to shoulder separation, you probably have good pitching velocity. So again, separating 45 degrees closed off or more. You don't want your back arm to touch the wall because we're angled off and because we're driving away from the rubber already. So we want to hear our click and our unclick on the King of the Hill, as well as we do not want to touch the wall with our back hand.
Now, what you're trying to do in this drill, obviously, is have a good click and a good unclick on the King of the Hill. But you also do not want to touch this wall. You shouldn't touch it with your back shoulder, because that's telling me you're leaning back too far and you're not going down the mound quick enough. And you should not hit it with your hand. The reason why you shouldn't hit it with your hand is because the timing of your hand separation should be when you start moving down the mound. So if I get here and I start to break my hands, I'm definitely going to hit the wall in the back, right? Boom, no doubt. But if I break my hands at the correct time, which is after I start moving down the mound, I'm moving away from that wall as my hands are separating. So I won't hit it. The second reason why my hands won't hit is because I'm not breaking straight. I'm not breaking straight to my target and straight back. I want to break my hands at a 45-degree angle or more. Some guys go even more closed off, but at least 45-degree angle on both ways. So now, if I'm moving down the mound and breaking at an angle, there's no way that my hand should come close to that wall in the back, okay? Now, what I don't want you to do is shorten up your arm. I see a lot of guys try to shorten up their arm real quick to not hit the wall. You don't want to do that. You still want to be nice and long with the arm in the back, have a good arm path, and obviously get a good click and an unclick on the King of the Hill. So let me show you what it looks like.
So that is the reverse wall drill, another great drill to work on to see if we're setting ourselves up for good hip to shoulder separation, also to see if we're driving away from the rubber efficiently, and also to just work on the King of the Hill to hear that click and that unclick.